right, I'm late. Look, it's been a long day. Y'all just gonna have to forgive me on this one. Okay, let's just get into it. CM Punk kicked off the show. He made it very clear that he was the antithesis to Drew McIntyre's success. He was not going to stop. He was going to continue to keep antagonizing Drew McIntyre until he gets what he wants, which is Drew McIntyre. He also made it very clear that actions have consequences. And in that conversation, in walked Seth freaking Rollins. And to his credit, business that had nothing to do with him. CM Punk was kind of taken aback by that because he felt like what he did was justified, but he did inadvertently apologize. And I use that term very loosely because at first it sounded like and seemed like he was apologizing, but as soon as he felt it wasn't worth the effort, he reneged on that apology and came back and could not stay in the realm of just saying, I'm sorry if my actions cost you the championship. That wasn't my intent. And that but pissed off Seth freaking Rollins. So much so that Seth made it very clear that it was going to be his mission to make sure that his actions had consequences. And as long as Seth freaking Rollins is around, CM Punk is not going to have any peace either. So just like I told y'all last Saturday, all three of these men are going to be entangled with each other for a little while. I suspect that Drew and CM Punk will end up inside a Hell in a Cell cage at Bad Blood. But I also suspect that Seth freaking Rollins is going to be lurking, leave off of Drew and go right into CM Punk and Seth freaking Rollins, which is pretty ingenious by Triple H to set it up this way. You got a feud within a feud, and it will just continue to domino down until we see where this ends up and where it all goes. However, CM Punk did do something nice by saying congratulations to John Cena on being able to retire on his own terms, and he wants to be one of the people five. Now that we got all of that out the way, you know Drew McIntyre was suspended, but he is scheduled to be back at Monday Night Raw next week. Now, CM Punk begged Adam Pearce to give him Drew McIntyre and please release him from being suspended. This time, Drew is going to be there next week, and they're going to be in Dayton, Ohio next week. They're going to be there, and Drew is coming to discuss the events of what happened last week, well, Saturday at Money in the Bank. Also, next Monday, Gunther and Damian Priest are going to be face to face. Speaking of Damian Priest, it's been a very interesting show. For the most part, Damian Priest was on his best behavior, but he alluded to someone coming back right after he had a conversation with Seth freaking Rollins. After Seth went and talked to CM Punk, more like talked at him rather than talked to him, since Priest upheld his end of the bargain, that he was going to uphold his end of the bargain, no matter the circumstances of the fight. Priest upheld his like a man, so he's going to respond in kind. Now, He said, I won't challenge you for that championship. But he did say something very interesting to Priest in the beginning. He told him, luck was on your side. You don't have to be good when luck is on your side. And then he turned around and told him, although you were lucky, you were that uphold his end of the bargain. And CM Punk wasn't a part of the deal. And neither was Drew McIntyre. He could not control, nor would he have been able to know that either of these two men would become a factor in him retaining that championship against Seth freaking Rollins. Unfortunately for Seth, the guys didn't smile in his favor. Okay. So Damian Priest is the one still holding the gold and moving towards SummerSlam to face off against probably one of his most formidable opponents in Gunther. About y'all, but I don't think he's going to get past him. With all that being said, Damian Priest was he obliged, and essentially he said, "Okay, all right," but he said, "I don't care about no gentleman's bet. We are gonna run this shit back after I get done with Gunther. I don't mind going to war with you." All right. No, I wasn't talking. The internet cut out. Anyways, sorry about that. Internet cut out, and it's just not my day today. Okay, so let's keep this going. All right. So, first match of the night. If you didn't hear me, I'll make it decided that he didn't want to keep up his end of the bargain or keep up with the gentleman's bet. He decided that he wanted to end it and scratch it because everything went to shit anyway. And because Seth was an upstanding dude and Damian seems to be upstanding, he has decided that if he, well, when he said when he gets past Gunther, he is going to give Seth an opportunity to go to war with him again. All he has to do is name the time and the place. The two men shook on it, and that was the end of that. Now, first match of the night, the official first match of the night, was between Gable and Jay Uso. Now, Jay Uso was the last person to touch that briefcase before fucking Drew McIntyre got it. And quite frankly, if we're being fair, I would have minded if it was anybody inside Money in Bank that got that briefcase over Drew. As much as I love Drew McIntyre, and don't get me wrong, I love Drew. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. He always has been. I cannot deny that he was not the one who should have won. And I feel like using that briefcase to further that storyline between him and CM Punk was a waste of an entire Money in the Bank. It was a waste of potential injuries and a waste of superstars for almost an hour. We were watching a match and you wasted our time doing that. And I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do about it. But I wanted to make sure I let that be known. That being said, Jey Uso and Chad Gable faced off. This time, the two men were in the ring together alone. And you know that the Wyatt Sick is going after Chad Gable for his improper leadership and his improper use of his family. Now, if you were watching the show and you watched how the show progressed and later on in the night, you saw Chad Gable once again speaking to the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. I've been telling you for months that eventually he was going to link up with them, and I believe that he is. But first, he got to get taken out. I don't think he gonna link up with them before he gets taken out. I think he gonna get taken out by the Wyatt Sick first, and then Chad Gable will return, reemerge with the new champ, with a new group, and that's how he'll proceed forward. But in this match, Chad Gable really gave Jey Uso a working over. And one thing he did do, and I know some people are probably not going to believe me or like what I have to say, is simple. Chad Gable really exposed Jey Uso not having a lot of technical skill when it comes to wrestling. You all know full well that Chad Gable was probably one of the best wrestlers on the roster next to Natalya. He has the most technical skill out of all of them. And quite frankly, there's not many men who can match Chad Gable's ability to wrestle ground and pound, technical style wrestling in that ring. And watching him work Jey Uso over like that really exposed Jey Uso's ability to actually do a technical wrestling match. And not even that, but just be able to match Chad Gable bar for bar, move for move, and he simply can't. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on Jey Uso. He's not a terrible wrestler, but if I am being fair, the man is limited, and that was exposed today when you watch the match between him and Gable. If I were Jey Uso, I would be asking if I would be invited to the dungeon, I would go. I would get my technical skill under control. I would work with Chad Gable outside of this. I'd be like, hey, man, you worked me over in that match. Do you mind working with me on some technical skills and some ground and pound stuff so I can make, you know what I'm saying? So I can strengthen up my arsenal and beef up my shit right quick. That's just me, in my personal opinion. At least that's how I would do it. I'm not saying he's terrible because he's never been terrible, but he is limited. And I want him to be better because I know that he can be better. I mean, if Jacob Fatu can be as amazing as he is in the ring with all his wrestling prowess and skill, not just the high flying capabilities, but Jacob has a massive move set and arsenal that most of the Samoan wrestlers that are in the E can't even believe or even think of having. So, like I said, if I was Jey Uso after this match, I would beef up my wrestling skill. With that being said, Jey Uso did ended up winning this match because Jey Uso was in the ring, and of course, the Wyatt Six made their presence known. But this time, it was just Nikki Cross, which had been for a couple of weeks. But you also saw Joe Gacy and what's the other guy's name? Dexter. What's his name? Isn't that his name? Garrett Dexter. I can't think of. I can't remember. So it's Dexter, right? Dexter, Joe Gacy, and Eric Rowan are the males. Yeah. Okay, because I couldn't remember. For whatever reason, his name just escaped me. She's speaking facts about Money in the Bank. The man suplexed the ladder. Yeah, y'all can get behind me in the Jacob Fatu fan line. Period. Dexter. Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, but I got it now. So they came after Gable. And this was used as a distraction. Jey Uso ended up getting the pin After he got the spear, he got the pen, and then he got his ass up out of there. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He yeeted his ass up out of there, which hella smart because there's no way I was sticking around to figure out what the fuck was going on. Plus, he knows that they coming after him. He knows that. Later on in the night, we got a 6-woman tag team match between Damage Control, the Disco Twins, and Lyra Valkyria. Damage Control ended up picking up the win, but that meant nothing because not only did we get January 6th and Shayna Baszler back out there, but Zoe Stark. And Sonya was out there with them. Now, Sonya has been trying to recruit them and tell them for weeks what they should be doing and how they should move. Clearly, them being on their own is not working, and they need someone who has a little bit more prowess to be able to get them where they need to be. And Sonya seems to be that girl. Now, I give Sonya a lot of flack, but one thing Sonya is not is a slouch. She may be a mouth almighty, tongue everlasting bitch, but at the end of the day, Sonya can get out there with the best of them, and she proved that today when she need the shit out of one of them girls. I don't know if it was Dakota or if it was Kyrie. I can't remember, but one of them got their head taken off by Sonya today. She looked great. And then they went in the back and cut a promo. Now, I don't know what these bitches' names is going to be honest with you, I don't really care. I don't know what their name's gonna be. And Zoe back there talking some weirdo shit, talking about she tired of this and it's our time. And it's like, girl, we done had 2 opportunities taken away from us. No. We're not gonna move the goalpost so what you say sounds better. We're gonna tell the fucking truth, okay? First of all, you and Shayna Baszler lost. You didn't get anything taken from you. You lost clean. To first time to the champions, you lost. Okay. Then you lost to Island Alba before they got the championships. Okay. And then you lost again in the triple threat at Glasgow. So we're not finna, be moving the goalposts and pretending like your ass ain't no loser. You're a loser. Shayna's a loser by proxy because of you. Okay? Now your ass got in the match and you blame EO for costing you the match? Girl, I would have threw your ass onto the ladder as well. You're lucky you didn't go face first, bitch. The fuck? I don't know what kind of weed you smoking, but it must be premium kush for you to come out there and say the stupid shit that you said. Between you and JC Jane, y'all delusions of grandeur are wild. Wild. Shayna was the only one who spoke real facts. Shayna said we had to go get Sonya. Basically, what she said was we had to go get Sonya because we knew we couldn't do this shit on our own anymore. That's the goddamn truth. Just tell the truth. Bitch, you don't know what you're doing and you need somebody else to lead you because you don't know how to work on your own. Clearly, you don't. You got to be teamed up with Shayna. You got to be teamed up with Trish Stratus. Clearly, you don't know how to move on your own. And that's okay. But just admit the truth and move forward. You are a face bitch. Don't come out here talking that bullshit, acting like y'all was out here being dominant this whole time and you just kept getting screwed. That's not how that happened. That's not how that happened, bitch. Okay? Stop with the madness. Stop it. Be in it right now. Okay? We ain't finna go there. We is not. Shout out to Shayna for kneeing the fuck out of Dakota. We love keeping it in the house. Oh, wow. Also, Alexis can vouch for me. As soon as the ladders came out there, I yelled, "Let's go, lesbians." That's crazy. A wise person once said, "Tell the truth and shame the devil." And did. Ain't gonna do it again because people be lying. Don't lie, tell the truth. You can't keep changing the narrative and spinning it so it work out in your favor. I don't mind y'all being a group. It's a cute group. But you know you are weak as hell by yourself. So you need them two in order to make yourself look good. If we being honest, Sonya don't need either one of y'all. Y'all need her. So it's not about you losing opportunities or getting opportunities taken away from you. Because when Isla and Alba walked up in your face and basically laughed at you, none of you hoes did nothing to neither one of them. Y'all stood there and was like, "That's okay, sweetheart. You'll see." Sweetheart. A girl, if a bitch walk up in my face and laugh at me after I just decimated three other bitches, I'm not gonna be calling you no sweetheart and worried about what you talking about. I'm gonna tear your ass down. What y'all should have did is beat the hell out of Alba and Isla and then laughed at them. Ugh, I had to do all y'all jobs for y'all. It's so disappointing. But did you peep Gable talking to the Creeds and Ivy? You missed out on that, babe. I already mentioned that. So yes, I did. Well, look at the man Zoe supports. He know all about changing the story and switching the narrative. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Who she want to vote for is her business. That's her business. She gonna have to deal with the consequences of that. Not me. Any whoosies. So there was no match between Sammy and Brian Breaker, but Brian Breaker did what everybody seems to be doing when they can't get their way. They throw a temper tantrum. So Brian Breaker came out there while Sammy was talking. Sammy was bragging on himself. Sammy was like, "Bitch, everybody been you pretty much calling me the underdog, talking all this shit about me." But he's like, "I ain't no underdog. I'm the champ. Champions ain't no underdog. I don't care who you are." And he was like, "Everybody didn't bet on me. Everybody had, pretty much had me counted out." You know what I'm saying? But what you forgot is when I'm down, you got to keep me down in order to win. And you forgot that. So it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no issues with you. It's straight. But just know I'm the champion and you're not. Now, Brian Breaker's stupid ass came out there and didn't say nothing for about 2 minutes. Just stood there. And Sammy like, "Well, motherfucker, is you going to talk? Is you going to say something? Or no?" All right, cool. Then he slammed the mic in his chesticles. Brian took the mic and was like, "Congratulations, Sammy. You was able to do something that nobody on this roster has able to do." Well, he said nobody has been able to do, and that's not true. Because the very same man that came out there to Sammy's defense, Ilya, is the one who beat him multiple times, as did Carmelo Hayes. They also beat him multiple times. So, I don't know why you keep like I find it so weird that they keep moving the goalposts. But then he switched it up and was like, "Nobody on the main roster has been able to beat me." And I was like, "Okay, okay, girl." Anyways, he then says, "I know I don't deserve another championship. I know I've already, exhausted myself, but," he was like, "Here's the thing." And then he just spears the man. Spears the man like a child. Can't get your way. You're mad because you lost, and you lost clean. You could have easily kicked out, you burly bitch, but you decided to lay down on the mat because you was tired. It's not Sammy's fault that you couldn't kick out. That's your fault. However, just like a grown man child, he decided to go off on a tangent and attack Sammy so he could force the narrative of him getting another title shot. I wouldn't give him shit if I was Sammy. I wouldn't give him nothing. I'd give it to fucking Ilya before I give it to him. I'd be like, "Why the fuck would I wrestle you again?" Why? For what? I already beat you, bitch. I don't care how many times you spear me in the ring. I don't care how many times you laugh at me because I won't give you another title shot. It's me who you want something from, but you want to come out here and attack me? Child, boom. You will never see this title again as long as I got it since I already beat you. I have no reason to prove anything to you or anybody else. I've already proven that I can beat you. What the fuck do I need to run it back to you for? There was no interference in our match. You just came up short like you always do. You light in the ass bitch. Okay? Why do you call we call her January 6th? Was she there? No, because she operate like she was. She is a uber conservative weirdo, and I don't like it. I don't like the way she behaved. I don't like the way she talk about people, and she looked like she was there. That's why I call her January 6th. That's why I call her January 6th, because she looked like she was there, and I know it gets under people's skin, and it probably would piss her off if she knew about it, and I don't give a damn. Furthermore, she also said that Damage Control couldn't lace up her boots. Let me run that back, because let me tell y'all something. There are a lot of things that I would say on Damage Control, but not lacing up nobody's dude, not being able to wrestle, not being one of the most dominant female factions in history is not one of them. I would never say that. Furthermore, Zoe should fucking know better, seeing as how she teamed with EO and NXT and was licking her ass for almost a year while she was hobbling around on that fucked up knee of hers. Okay? I'm not in the mood today. I'm giving everybody the fucking business because y'all trifling. Trifling. Not if there was some silence. I ain't see nothing. Ilya versus Sammy would be insane. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's move on. We don't need to see Brian Breaker going after Sammy again. They ain't gonna do nothing but give Sammy the championship. I mean, give it to Brian, which whatever. But I don't want to see that. Zoe also be hating girls with a big ass. As a girl with a big ass, the feeling is mutual. Hell no. Funny because EO damn near took her head off at Money in the Bank. No, she almost broke her bike. I'm surprised she walking around, but strong bitch. Didn't EO throw that girl off a ladder Saturday? Your boots were untied, January. Okay. It's funny because she's been on the roster and has still yet to get a reaction during her entrance. She ain't gonna get one. All right, y'all. Let's move forward. So let's talk about Liv and Dom. So Liv went to Adam Pearce and requested a championship, a tag team, mixed tag team match. Okay. Dom didn't request that. Liv went to it because she wanted to make up for him losing last week. Now, of course, Selena Vega and them was like, I'm okay with that. Let's do it. So they did. She decided to come in here and do a little 1-2 ditty with the girls. Okay. She was like, let me help you stretch out. We need to do strategy and talk strategy in the match. Let me help you stretch out a little bit. Stretched him out. He was like, that don't feel too bad. That actually feels really good. Stretching out and everything, sitting there living their best life, and all of a sudden here comes Damian Priest. And then here comes Seth. I mean, not Seth. Here comes Finn. Here comes JD. And of course, around the corner is Carlito. So they all standing there like, ooh. Damien was like, this is rich. Damien has been cheesing and smiling all night. After he got out of the conversation with Seth freaking Rollins, he had a little phone call. Ring, hello. Hey, where you at? Are you on your way? Okay. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. I was like, who the fuck is that? I was like, okay, Damien, you petty. Because you was out here you knew she was coming, and you ain't tell nobody. You ain't tell not nary soul. You didn't say a damn thing to nobody. That's a petty bitch right there. Oh, you's a petty bitch. You know you ain't right for that. Now, in this match with Vega and Rey Mysterio, Liv threw the chair in the ring like she was trying to get them to use it. which clearly was a distraction. It was clearly a distraction. Okay. She then the ref gets the chair out the ring. Baby, can I have the cord to my computer, please? It's gonna cut off. Thank you. Mm-hmm. She then pushed Ray off the top rope. Dominic was able to hit that frog splash, I think, and Dominic ended up picking up the win. This is the first time Dominic Mysterio has been able to beat his father, I think, in the last 2 years. Because every time they've gone up against each other, Dominic has pretty much won. So of course they celebrating and happy. And at first, Dominic lost himself and hugged him, hugged Liv, but he pushed her off of him. And then, and then Liv jumped on him and pulled him down, and they about to be kissing and making out in the ring, child. That music hit. That music hit, and everybody heard it. I eat, sleep, bleed the demons in your dreams. Child, when that face popped up on that damn screen, Liv's scary ass scurried. When I say she scurried, I mean that, okay? She scurried her ass out the arena and left Dom to pick up the pieces, okay? Dom in the middle of the ring, Rhea ran her out of there, and she jumped in the ring and went right after Dom, and she was just like, look at me. And I was like, oh, you in trouble. You are in trouble. You're in trouble. Yes, you are in trouble, sir. You're in trouble. He tried to hug her like, hey, welcome back, mommy. She was like, get the fuck out of my face. And that shit went off. It cut off. It cut off. And I don't know what they did because I didn't get to watch the WWE exclusive or none of that. But child, when I tell you that shit was funny, I was like, Liv, where you going? See, this is what I don't like. I don't like when you be popping off all that cool shit. And then when it's time for you to face the music, you want to run. But for the last, since Mania? Since after Mania? Since Rhea had to give up her title, you have been running around here, taunting her, doing the same thing Drew was doing. Same thing, different toilet. You've been running around here popping off at the mouth, doing all this ignorant shit. You've been doing this for a while, okay? And now that she is there in your face, she's cleared, she can wrestle. There's nothing that you can do. You have to face her. You run. Nah, because see, if this was really your revenge tour, you would have stood 10 toes down right there in her face. You have been angering her on purpose. And now you want to run away? Don't do that. Don't do that. Stand on your shit. If that's how you feel, you stand on your shit. If you like Dominic want me, he don't want you. Okay, well stand on that. Stand on that, whore bells. She don't want his ass either. This is a grown ass man sitting up talking about chicken nuggets and tendies. Grown. Got a whole wife at home. He on TV talking about it better be some chicken nuggets and tendies there. And this is what y'all fighting over. The single girls are having slim pickings at this point. It's sad. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sorry for you. Oh my God. The sadness I feel for each of you. She just needs to eat some pasta and do some squats. Talk about some child. Damien said he was going to learn tonight. Well, I don't know what he learned. Dakota would tear January 6th up. Nah, because Damien is tired. He should have told him. That was messy. Dom had to learn hard head. Make a soft ass. That's what my daddy say. Damien is so tired of catching them. At this point, what has Damien been catching? Because if we being fair, Damien has been pretty much leading everything that had to do with Judgment Day to Finn and JD McDonough. He really haven't been participating in nothing, including Judgment Day business. Now, given the fact that Rhea was doing it before he was doing it, and Rhea had them set up to do whatever they needed to do, he's not doing his part as a leader. When this leadership changes, you're supposed to set the leadership up at least for y'all to succeed as a group if that's how you wanted to go. But that's not how that went. Damian Priest was only concerned about him being champion. He was not concerned about Judgment Day. He was only concerned about Judgment Day when it would make him look bad. That's it. So I don't know. He shouldn't be. He wasn't catching nothing. Zelina did great. Zelina's been doing great for a while, and I'm proud of her. I feel like her return is so premature. I wish they let Dom and Liv be fully into each other for a week or two. I get they got the bill for SummerSlam though. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to see that. I barely want to see Dom on screen at all. I definitely don't want to see him trying to slide down Liv Morgan. No, thank you. Okay, the match is gonna be set for SummerSlam, and I guarantee you, Dominic Mysterio is gonna cost this woman that title. I put it on my mama. I screamed and jumped like it jumped up like it was Cody winning that Mania. I can't. See, this is what I mean. Liv says she's a bitch, but she ran like a scalded dog. Rhea was coming down to destroy someone. Well, she should have took her licks like a grown ass woman. I'd have fought. We gonna fight, then let's fight. They had video which Liv behind the curtain laughing like this was all a part of my plan. Consequences of her own actions. I was yelling, "Where are you going, Horribells? Why are you running?" I can't. Oh, I was talking about catching Liv and Dom in those awkward moments in the hallways. Damien has been an awful leader. That's a given. So there has been some other stuff that happened too. Okay. Walter gave a great promo today. Walter, aka Gunther. This is how Walter looked back in the NXT days. This is what he gave. He was a massive man, and even at this weight, he was very difficult to beat, and he still is. Now that he's even more toned, and his muscle mass is different, and a little bit bigger. He's more toned. He's a little bit more streamlined. He can move better. He's a little bit more agile. This makes him even more problematic because he's still a danger. He is still a danger to anyone that he wrestles. I saw online a lot of people were not okay with Gunther potentially becoming the world heavyweight champion. And if you are having a problem with Gunther being champion, then you truly don't understand what Gunther is really capable of. Now, Gunther could have a Roman Reigns like run if given the opportunity. You saw what he was capable of when he had that Intercontinental Championship. It was mirroring almost what Roman was doing on SmackDown. But Gunther was wrestling on Raw. He was wrestling on PLEs. Gunther was seen more often than not on TV weekly. Whereas Roman was resting in the fact that he was the champ of the whole company and nobody else could touch him, which I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? Drop, put your mask on, please. Please put your mask on. Anyways, he gave a very impassioned speech and he made it very clear that he came to WWE to do one thing, and that was to give the prestige and order back into this sport, because he felt like it was just little boys just living a dream, and he was like, they need to wake up. And when he gets the championship, he's gonna bring back prestige to the WWE. And he made it very clear. He was like, I learned very quickly that in order for you to be respected, you had to win. I learned that when I was a kid. So I ain't have no little dreams of being a WWE superstar. He said, let's be real. I didn't need the WWE. WWE needed me. I was like, well, goddamn. You ain't had to disrespect me. The fuck? But anyways, there was another tape given by the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six have made it very clear that Chad Gable is a target. Okay. Now, this time in this tape, he described his family. He made sure that everybody knew who his family was and why they were a part of the crew now. And he detailed each one. He said one was abandoned, one was left alone, the other was, demonized and crucified, and the other lacked love and just wanted love. And so when you see how everybody was acquired by the Wyatt Sick, Bo Dallas pretty much made it very clear. Oh shit. Bo Dallas made it very clear that his family is happy and he's happy. And then he popped up in Adam Pearce's office right after Chad Gable complained and screamed and hollered about how he wasn't being protected. All of a sudden, Bo Dallas is in Pierce's office. We don't know what they talked about, but he was in his office. Now, there are a few things that we did get to see. Ilya went up against Braun Breaker tonight. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get to see the end of this match, so I have no idea how it ended or who won in this match. I have no idea. Um, I'm assuming Sammy came back out there during this match, but I'm not sure. Um, Today, Monday Night Raw was good, but it wasn't over the top exciting. You kind of got the feeling of what was going to happen. I kind of wish they didn't have Damien talking to anybody on the phone or making it alluding to her being there. I kind of wish it was a bit more of a surprise. But overall, I think that they did a pretty stinking good job at making this happen the way it did. I think they did a pretty decent job on that front. I'm not necessarily, mad about that. I don't know. I kind of wanted it to be more of a surprise. But tomorrow we have a couple of matches that I forgot to tell y'all about yesterday when we were talking about NXT Heatwave. There are a couple of matches on the docket for NXT. So tomorrow we're going to be looking at Gallus, and they're going to go up against, oh God, I can never remember their names. It's Tyreek and something. Oh, what are their names? Ethan Page stealing the title is a very good way of putting it, because that's exactly what happened. He stole it. It's a very good way of putting it. Um, it's the Timberland brothers. They're gonna be going up against um they're gonna be going up against Gallus because they've demanded it. You're also gonna have a Heritage Cup match with who's going after the Heritage Cup? I think it's Lexus King. I think he's going after the Heritage Cup. Um, and I'm not sure. Oh, Ariana Grace is gonna go up against Carmen Petrovich tomorrow, and then we'll hear from Wesley and I guess he's gonna explain what his next where he's gonna go next, seeing as how he can't go back after the North American Championship. And I already told him what to do, but people do what they don't listen. They'll figure it out. Any whoosies, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I didn't want to keep y'all too long. I wanted to make sure I covered everything. I hope I covered everything. If not, I'll go back and discuss it on Wednesday when we do Freestyle Wednesday. If you guys want to see my commentary on this, you guys can always follow me on my social media. It's at SykesOnTV2, and that is on Instagram and on TikTok. And both of the videos are all the same on those platforms. So make sure you follow me over there. You can also follow me over on Down for the Count. Down for the Count is the podcast where we talk about wrestling. We'll have a new episode up this week. Last week's episode had some technical difficulties that I didn't get around to fixing, so I apologize for that. I will take that episode down and upload the new one so you guys can actually hear everybody in this particular episode. But if you want to hear Down for the Counts podcast, please go on over to Spotify. You can also listen to it on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Twitter as well, the Twitter handle, and you can find us here on YouTube. I stream all of the stuff for everything for Down for the Count, so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Both of the handles are there below. And if you just want to hear us talk and shoot the shit, you can always come on over to the Stuff I Want to Talk About podcast, which is also on Spotify. And if you want to send me stories you want me to talk about, or if you want to be on the show, you can always email me at my Gmail address, and I will get back to you. So there you have it, ladies and gents. I will see you guys tomorrow after NXT. Y'all be easy. Peace.